Weighing in at 233 pounds, he is the submission specialist, Slade!
Spencer Slade going to have to do it by himself. Justin Lamar made the announcement. He actually has other endeavors this evening, other business making much more important than being here with Spencer Slade on an important night like Cage Fury. I will have you know that as of right now, he is giving part of his wealth to charity, and if she's not available, it may go to Destiny.
Oh, come on. It was 5 days ago that Spencer Slade was on national television, wrestling an athlete in excess of 7 feet tall, nearly 400 pounds. Spencer tells you to fear the gear, but one thing about Spencer, he fears no man himself.
Well, yeah, certainly no doubt about that. Anybody he goes in there with, he feels that he's got the advantage. He's the favorite.
From Monday Night Raw to Saturday night at Cage Fury, against a debuting star who's had a lot of hype and buzz around him, if you are in the tri-state wrestling circles.
And his opponent from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing in at 191 pounds, he is the Heartstringer, Ashton Day!
Well, Ashton Day considers himself a heartthrob, considers himself an ultra star, and he is multifaceted at so many different things. He can sing, he can play musical instruments, he can act, he's been on stage shows, and he's blossomed into a pretty impressive professional wrestler over the past few years as well. Ashton Day in peak physical condition. I've never seen this young man look better.
Certainly no stranger to big matchups, no stranger to championships, as you mentioned, throughout the tri-state area. But there is only one Spencer Slade, one of one model.
Ashton's put on size, he's put on mass. You can see the definition in his back muscles, well-developed chest, and a man that exudes confidence, exudes star power. Ashton Day has been special his entire life, not his entire career, his entire life. He's been able to pick up so many different things. And but man, is this not getting thrown in the deep end right out of the chute?
Well, yeah, you're going up against the MVP of IWC, if you ask me, and certainly Justin Lamar would agree, Spencer Slade would agree.
Ashton is the current heavyweight champion of the Mega Championship Wrestling promotion based in Northeast Ohio. Ashton's in his mid-20s. He's just now coming into his own. He came into the sport undersized and maybe a little bit delusional about what he needed to do, but Ashton's been taking himself seriously and putting those puzzle pieces together over this past year or so. I think he had a chance to really reassess his life, his priorities. He's a family man. He's got a couple of great kids. He's very supportive, a significant other, as Ashton Day now going behind Spencer Slade, and nice deep arm drag. I like the form. I like the execution. He got underneath the bigger man and was able to leverage him over. Ashton Day does so many little things right. I saw Ashton Day in a matchup against former Impact Wrestling X-Division champion Trey Miguel a few months ago. Move for move, tit for tat, these men were on an even keel. It was a big-time stepping up moment for Ashton Day to show he can compete at a high level. But Spencer on top now, and you know, when you talk ground and pound, when you talk about the mat game, it's tough to find someone in Spencer Slade's league.
As I said, he is one of one in a class unto himself, but the same could be said for Ashton Day. You mentioned his accolades, or you mentioned a lot of his accolades. Is there a fan club?
Well, I've had to put up with him for a number of years, is what I'm saying. Before he matured, how about that? I'm giving Ashton all the credit in the world here because he's impressed the hell out of me this calendar year. But, oh, man, he's had, let's say, a rocky start in this industry. Had to overcome, as Spencer says, that close. Ashton had to overcome a lot from just, obviously, it's tough to juggle family and wrestling. It's tough to juggle wrestling and musical performances and stage acting and all the other things he does. Had a really piece of garbage trainer when he first started before he found Mega, but that's a whole other side story.
Boy, you're
Spencer. I know this kid's story, and I'm impressed by the fact he's here at the pinnacle of professional wrestling in this part of the country while overcoming so much. Is that okay?
Mentioned that hot tea convention. I think you should have got your ticket.
You okay, by the way? Pace quickens. Ashton Day up and over.
Quite frankly, no. I'm still a little perplexed.
Ashton out quickening Spencer. Well, just mind yourself when Paddles comes out here later.
I'll throw your face into the ground and see if you're not.
I'm not. Oh, check out our drop kick. Nicely done. Ashton Day stringing some offense together. On top hooks the leg, but only gets one. That's the instincts of a champion like Spencer Slade to get off of his back and his shoulders as quickly as possible.
You know, let me float this out to you. We talk about Spencer Slade all the time, title contention, no doubt about that. I feel it's a matter of time before he gets a shot at the heavyweight title that he was very, very close to. But where does that put Ashton Day if he's able to pull this off?
I think it catapults Ashton Day to the top of a lot of conversations. Spencer's been on the precipice of championship glory for a long time. But a great combo move there, ending in the neck breaker. Spencer using that size and agility and a near fall. But you gave me a BS excuse me, about Justin LaBar not being here. But are Spencer and Justin on the same page? Because it seems like half the time they are and half the time they're not. And it more often than not affects Spencer's bottom line, which, by the way, you get paid based on wins and losses.
Well, short answer to your question, yes. Long answer, absolutely yes. Justin LaBar has assured me that there is nothing wrong. Everything is good. He even told me I don't even need to ask Spencer, and that word was good enough for me.
Okay, well, I'm not going to read more into that. We'll maybe save that for another time. But Spencer's looking to rebuild. He's been on a hell of a win streak. He's only got, I believe, one blemish in recent times, and that was to Jack Pollock back at Wrestling at the Ballpark a month ago. Spencer, liberal use of those neck breakers. Ashton Day's body folded up in a near fall.
And one of the unique things I will say about Spencer Slade that not a lot of other wrestlers can claim, he always knows where his body is, and that's impressive. The good ones know that. The great ones know where their opponent is at all times as well. That's why he's able to pull off those neck breakers, easy for me to say. Everything is pinpoint accuracy, gets the most impact on every move, just like we see that punch right there.
Well, Spencer looking to end the success story of Ashton Day before it gets off the ground here in IWC. Cravat stitched in by Spencer Slade. Shades of Chris Hero by Spencer. Remember him?
I do. Another competitor here in the IWC title ranks and Super Indies and such.
IWC's very first match in Super Indie history with CM Punk and Chris Hero once upon a time. Of course, Super Indie going down our 21st installment, October 8th, and Ashton went for that crisscross drop kick at Spencer Slade, who comes through with a hard clothesline. All of his body weight behind it, hooking the leg deeply, but only a count of two. What's impressed you most about Ashton Day so far, BC?
Well, we've seen Ashton Day. You mentioned earlier about where he started. All kidding aside, I had seen that as well. He's found himself, and that's one of the hardest things for a young professional wrestler to do, is to know, or for any human that matters, for them to truly know who they are. He knows every move he's going to make, every word he's going to say, and every match he has, he is strategized to the max.
And both these men have about, 3+ years in the game, 4 years in the game, so very evenly matched. And we've talked about the meteoric rise of Spencer, how quickly he's caught on. Ashton maybe... Oh, man, what agility. What hang time on that elbow. Spencer down onto the cover for two. Spencer picked this thing up like it was second nature to him. Ashton maybe didn't have quite the same road at the start, but Ashton's made up for a lot of lost time these past 6 months or so. And to me, this looks like two athletes on very similar levels here, which is a testament to not just Spencer's rapid growth and development, but Ashton kind of keeping up with that pace.
know, a lot of people may be intimidated when they see a Spencer Slade across the ring. I don't think Ashton Day has that intimidation in him.
Well, Spencer now is using that body weight over top of Ashton, making Ashton carry that larger frame of Spencer Slade. Spencer trying to bridge up, crimp that neck, and the longer Ashton's in this maneuver, the more damage it's going to do long term.
You should have stayed home and never came.
Certainly, if the people want to know or want to let us know about what they think about Ashton Day or Spencer Slade.
Oh, Ashton got that crisscross drop kick that time. Could it be a turning point?
Going to be hashtag IWC Caged Fury on the Instagram, IWC_wrestling, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, IWC Wrestling, no underscore.
Well, Ashton Day looking to underscore his debut with a big-time victory here as Spencer's dazed. Ashton springs in, but man, he got caught. And that's just the difference of the body weight. Spencer's got probably 20 or 30 pounds on Ashton. Mudrell Spencer, the side suplex. Could this be all? 2 count only. And as much as I've espoused the virtues of Ashton, you gotta say if Ashton wins this matchup on this card, on this night, in this building, it's an upset.
Yeah, it definitely would be. This is the home base for Spencer Slade. I think everybody can understand feeling more comfortable when you're at home. It just feels different. It almost smells different. You can just take everything in, and that's what Spencer Slade does here in IWC.
Now Spencer rolls through. Ashton hesitated for a fraction of a second as far as what's next, and it's all Spencer needed to pounce, to capitalize, and now twist and bend and stretch at the ankle of Ashton Day. Ashton countered, tried to roll through, but Spencer has a death grip on the ankle of Ashton Day. Ow, Spencer sits out with it. Has the leg lock in. There's nowhere for Ashton to go. No choice but to tap out.
Here is your winner, the submission specialist, Spencer Slade.
Let him go. Get off them, Spencer. Yeah, oh, you did your damage. Now somebody, I don't care if it's LeBar or Plummer or anybody, has to control this guy. I get that he's fiercely competitive, but the damn match is over.
Well, Ashton Day got certainly, you said, jumping into the deep end in his IWC debut, and he's learning a lesson here. This is a good, valuable lesson for Ashton Day.
What lesson is that?
Well, that if you mess around with Spencer Slade, you're going in there with the shark.
It has been a banner week for the man that says fear the gear, as Spencer Slade scores a hard-fought victory over a debuting talent whose best years, much like Spencer's, are still ahead of him. Spencer says fear the gear. I think you fear Spencer no matter what environment you find him in, because this guy's dangerous, and this guy's ruthless, and LeBar or not, he's got a chip on his shoulder and a point to prove. Courageous effort for Ashton Day, but Spencer Slade rebuilding that win percentage back up. And BC, I don't blame you if you're a tad bit uncomfortable during our next segment and piece of footage, because I know you got a little bit too close to the proceedings. When personal animosity runs deep, sometimes there are, I'm not sure about innocent casualties, but crossfire, let's say.